Hi there, and thank you for tuning into the Social Circus, where every week we dive into a variety of topics covering social media, mindset, and how to run your business. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 14 of the Social Circus. I'm your host, Sarah Thompson, and today I'm excited to be joined by Gemma Wilson from Cherry Blossom Social Media, and she's going to talk to us all about being a social media manager. Hey, Gemma.
Hey, Sarah, how you going?
I'm so well. I'm really excited to have you here today. Now, we've been friends for a couple of years, and I've watched your business just go from strength to strength. So I'm excited to talk social media management today with you.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Brilliant. So just to let people know, can you share us a little bit about your business journey and where you started your business and how you came to be a social media manager?
Yeah, absolutely. So my business started off, I started off as a virtual assistant and did a lot of generalist stuff, but I found where my passion was social media. I love the creativity side of it. And so it kind of naturally progressed into social media management over the course of I've been nearly 3 years now. So that's kind of where it all gravitated to, which is awesome. Yes. I love it.
Fantastic. And so for those people who are listening, because I feel like there's a lot of confusion with the language that we use of what is a virtual assistant, what is a social media manager, and what's an online business manager. So we don't have to go through all of those, but talk about being a social media manager and how do you differ from a virtual assistant?
So under an umbrella, I guess a virtual assistant is a generalist. So they do a bit of everything, right? And social media manager specifically, I only deal with social media clients. So it's, the content creation, scheduling, hashtag research, all that sort of stuff. So that's primarily the core service is social media. And I don't necessarily do other general admin tasks.
Brilliant.
For my clients. Yeah.
Yes. And I think that I often see people saying, I'm looking for a virtual assistant, and they've got this wish list of about 15,000 tasks they want a virtual assistant to do. And thrown in amongst that is like, do my social media management, do my reels, do my videos. I was like, gosh, you're dreaming that you think that one person could have all those skills. And if they did, they probably wouldn't be in your price range.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that social media management has really, because I actually, Online Social Butterfly, we started as social media managers. That was my core service for years and years and years. And it's something that I loved and really enjoyed. But after quite a few years, I had some clients and I felt like I had a mortgage broker client for 4 years and I was like, I think I could be a mortgage broker because you come to know so much about their business. But so if I wanted to outsource my social media to someone like yourself, what does that generally look like? And explain to me what that process is, because I think a lot of people are scared of the letting go.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I'm even guilty of that myself. So, I book a discovery call with potential clients. They come and we just have a chat. We chat about their business, what they want to gain from their social media. And so the sort of flow is we have a chat, I'll send a proposal, they accept, and then we send an agreement, and then I send them all of the next steps. So there's actually quite a lot involved in the initial setup. And I think a lot of businesses don't really realize that. But once everything's set up, it is an absolute breeze and it's an absolute dream.
Well, you say it's a breeze, that's because you've got really good systems in place. So, so I guess one of the things we want people to understand is that a good social media manager will take the time to meet you and they'll take the time to explain what the process is. So the idea is that I'm not just, here's this, go away and make it happen, Gemma. It's going to be a collaborative relationship, but a good social media manager like yourself will say to me, this is what the process is going to look like. This is what I need from you, and I'll make it come to life.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I always, I'm available for my clients each month. We sit down and have a chat. Even if we don't need to actually chat socials, but we always do, just to touch base every month. I always send an end of month report to see how their socials are tracking. And I focus heavily on Facebook and Instagram. So that's where I sort of lie. And I find that I'm learning a lot about business through doing social media of other people's businesses. Like, I'm learning so much. Like, one of them's a gardener, and my lawn is the best it's ever looked in years.
Oh, I'm glad you're taking their advice. That's so cool. It's so interesting. So I guess one of the reservations we often have about outsourcing is, what if it doesn't sound like me, and what if I hate the content? So talk to me a little bit about this, because I think one of the things that you talked about just a moment ago is you talked about contracts, and there's a very strong reason why social media managers want to work with you for like 3, 6 or 12 months, isn't there? Yeah. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that there's so much onboarding, but once you're onboarding, it's a breeze. So there's no point in spending all that energy onboarding someone for 1 month. Okay. Exactly. So talk to me a little bit about your processes and systems. So I'm your client now, and you've onboarded me, and what do you then ask from me to kind of create the content, I guess, is a good thing.
Okay. So initially we set up, you set up your social media manager with admin access to everything. And what I generally do, and I think everybody should do it, is you always go through all their pre-existing content to look for their tone of voice and look for what kind of imagery they're using. If they need it to be updated, have a look at their bio, see if that needs to be updated. So I always get their logo and all their branding information, and
get started. So I guess you're doing essentially an audit, which I have to say is not what everybody does in social media management. No. So doing an audit, and it gives you a really strong sense of what, like you say, their tone and their voice and that, which I think is really, really important. So you then go off, I presume, and create the content. Do you do like a week or a month, or how do you do that generally in terms of batching? It varies from client to client, because some clients I do 5, 6, 7 posts a week, and some clients I'm doing 6 a month. So a lot of the time, some clients I'll do a week at a time, just for workflow for me as well, because I don't, and some clients I do a month at a time. So I generally don't do more than a month at a time. And then things change too much in social, don't they?
It does. And a lot of the time, so a lot of my clients, when they've got new lead magnets, they've got a new YouTube video up, they've got, I can't pre-schedule
that.
Yeah, I can't pre-schedule that. So that's why some clients I work week to week, and then some we do fortnight, and some we do monthly. So it all just sort of depends and flows. And the good thing about working with a social media manager who is not an agency is that, I'm a total go with the flow girl. So, if things pop up, it's no dramas. So that's sort of how I roll.
So I've got excited, and I've suddenly realized I've got a cash flow problem, and I need to do a flash sale. Hey, Gem, can you please stick these posts up over the next 3 days? And you'll be able to respond to that, which is really lovely. And I think that's one of the things that is nice, to have a really responsive person that you're working with. Now, a part of social media management, which I see coming up more and more again, is this community management or community engagement. Do you want to tell everyone a little bit about what that is, and what that looks like as a service if you outsource it?
Yeah, sure. So when you're looking to sort of outsource your community management, that can be as part of your online groups, so your Facebook groups, and that can be as involved as posting, responding, posting and responding mostly, and also
some of those moderation tasks, like if someone's put up a post that's not appropriate, that kind of thing.
Yeah, moderation, and then also you've got the other side of it, where if you've got an Instagram page, but you don't have time to go on there to do all the like this page and make sure I comment on this person's post and this and that and that. Yeah. So, and then there's that side of it as well. So
that's the engagement side. And I have to say, I think that a lot of people undervalue that engagement side, and particularly in a tool like Instagram, where the fastest way to grow your following is to show up and be active on Instagram. It's that simple. So if you're willing to pay someone like yourself to do that, to go in and, like you say, like and make comments that sound like your voice, and to engage with people who've commented on your content, it's really going to grow your business. And I feel like I often hear people saying, I just need posts done. I'm like, I bet you don't. I bet you don't engage. I bet you need. So I have someone who I work with that does my engagement for me, simply because I have it in my mind that I should show up 10 minutes a day, every day on Instagram, do that. And I just don't.
Yeah.
So you're to stop things slipping through the cracks.
Exactly. I don't know how many times I've told clients that, oh, it's all well and good me posting, but you need to be able to respond.
Yes.
And if you can't do that, you'll need to pay me to do it.
Yes. And it's really interesting. I think people really undervalue that. And I'm so glad we kind of mentioned community engagement and management, because I think that if you are going to be posting really consistently, to close that loop, you must be responding and commenting. And it's so, so important. Now I'm going to keep swinging because you just have such a cool business with fun things. Now I noticed that you added a little while ago and I was like, oh, this is such a juicy service, #research.
Yeah.
And so I don't have to be your client to engage with you to do this, do I? No.
Absolutely not.
I'm surprised. I have to be honest, I'm surprised more social media managers don't offer this as a standalone service. So I will put all the links in the show notes to Gemma's website, and you can have a look at her different products and services she's got. But one of them is to do your #research for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is genius. So tell me a little bit about that.
Right. So hashtags on Instagram, what a headache.
That's a great start.
Right? Because
Yeah,
we all think it. Everyone thinks it. A lot of people will just add random hashtags, which they've just thought off the top of their head without any thought as to, no strategy around it, so this is where I come in and I sit down and I will do their hashtag research for them. So that just involves me looking at hashtags and making sure that we're using hashtags that haven't been overused, and hashtags that are relevant to their audience, and hashtags that are relevant to their business, and all that sort of thing. So I present that in a Word document. I do up to 100 researched hashtags, and then I'll set them up I will do 3 sets for them, and then I've got an area where they can actually click and drag hashtags and make their own sets as well. So these are perfect because you're not just limited to the hashtags that the sets that I've pre-made for you. You can go in and you can edit and make your own, and you can create as many as you like for lots of different topics. So you've got a generalist, for just a post you've sort of thrown up, or a really distinct one, such as, you've got client testimonials, or you've got a specific subject that you're talking about. And it's different because I've done service-based businesses, I've done product-based businesses, and they're also different. So it's not, and I make sure that for each and every client that I work with, I don't go, oh, I've done a VAs before, I'm going to go back and just copy that. No. I sit down and do the whole 100 all over again, like it's a brand new thing.
Brilliant. And I can't stress, if you're not interested in hashtags and Instagram, let me tell you that it is such a good way to grow your visibility. And now on the insights on Instagram, it tells us on a post how many people found this from our hashtags. And you will see a direct return on having a good hashtag bank on how well your posts reach people. And it's something that I have to be honest, I could do a lot better myself. So maybe I just need to outsource it to you, Gem. Awesome. All right. So we're I'm mindful of time, but there's a couple of other things that I'd like to talk about, because I think one of the really interesting things watching you grow your business has been the confidence that you've had in terms of adding services to your business. So you're obviously a booked out social media manager, which isn't of no surprise to anyone, but then adding in these tools that allow you to grow your business, such as doing hashtag research, and you've now added some templates as well. So do you want to talk to us about your favorite template or your most popular template?
Yeah, so I've created my content calendar, which is available up on the website. But that So I just wanted to, and this is how I work with my clients online as well. So they all have a content calendar each, and it's a month by month calendar. We've got a month to a tab, and all the brainstorming, brain dumping gets put there. All the hashtags and hashtag sets get put in there. So everything is all in one place. You don't have to pay a subscription for somewhere to store everything and then to schedule everything out. You can do it. Everything is all in one place in the one content calendar, and then
Brilliant.
You can just schedule it out from that. So that's my personal favorite, and
Yes.
probably the most popular as well. Yeah.
Yes. And I think you've really addressed some of the issues that we face in our businesses when we are service providers, is that we ultimately run out of billable hours. And so, and I know that you've got a really young family, so your business is really designed to work around your family, which it absolutely does. But at some point you're like, well, what if I want to take a holiday? Or what if I, and so the idea of having things that we can sell in our business that are things like digital downloads and templates, and work like your hashtag research that you can do. To be fair, you could be going on holidays with your family, you could be sitting in your car on your laptop doing that kind of work. That's the kind of work we want to create and add to our business. So if you're thinking about becoming a VA or a social media manager, Gemma has shared some gems with us today, which I think are really, really insightful in terms of how do you, like if you want to outsource to a VA, here's some ideas. But if you're thinking of engaging a social media manager, this is what the difference is and why you pay different prices. So I think it's really important to understand that. So I will put all of the links in my show notes today to everything that we've talked about, including Gemma's very cool hashtag research product and her content planner as well. So I want to just wrap up and say, Gemma, it's been such a pleasure talking with you today.
Thank you. The pleasure is all mine. Thanks for having me.
My absolute pleasure. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you again, same time next week. Thanks so much for tuning in to The Social Circus. As your host, Sarah Thompson, I am thrilled that you've chosen to spend your time hanging out with me. I would be so grateful if you could spare an extra moment to go and leave me a review on your favorite podcasting platform. And if you even felt more excited, you could share my podcast with your friends who you think would get great value from it. Thanks so much again for tuning in.